Record on this computer. We're recording. Hello, everybody. This is the DVMUG Zoom meeting for Tuesday, November 10th. And we're going to talk about one more thing.
No.
Go ahead,
Other
Rick.
things than that. Can everybody see what I got going here?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move to questions and answers. And greetings to everybody from frigid California. I don't know why I'm freezing today.
It's cold out, that's why.
Well, it says it's 67 degrees out. It sure doesn't feel like 67.
It's snowing and freezing in the mountains.
Yeah.
There's
I
icicles
have an aunt in Indiana who laughs at us. I think her high was 42 the other day. Anyway, so we got questions. We've got questions. Jan asks, a terrible thing happened yesterday. I have used and depended upon Evernote for years. My whole brain was in there. It was wonderful. Now they have drastically changed it. Either I don't know how to use it or it is an abomination or both. I can't figure out how to search for a term in particular notebook. There used to be a handy search space always there, and I see no way to organize my list of frequently used notebooks on the first page. So I have to go poking around, scrolling for a notebook. I was stupid to have updated. Can someone supply an installer for the previous version? And then she goes on, should I switch to OneNote, and does anyone use OneNote? Well, first of all, Jan, you already subscribed to Evernote, right?
Right.
You're paying
Did you
for
pay?
it?
Yes, small amount so I could have it on more than one machine, I think.
All right, so you're paying so you can get support from them. But my guess is that they just changed it and you have to figure out how it works.
Yeah, maybe you could call tech support and point out to them that everything is unfamiliar, and it would have been nice if they would have given you questions and answers or frequently answered questions list about the thing.
I think all their tech help is, put your question online and see if somebody else had that.
Is anybody else in here use Evernote who's upgraded, who's familiar with what she's seen?
I have not run the upgrade. I downloaded it and I noticed that it is a drag copy application. It's all in one. So in theory, you could get the old version out of your Dropbox if it has not somehow upgraded the XML files that your personal data.
Well, may I suggest, if anybody is going to do this, it did give the choice of, do you want to keep them both or get rid of the old one? And I thought I didn't realize what a drastic update it was going to be. And I just wrote over the old one or deleted the old one.
So sometimes when they do these kind of things, they'll tell you that they need to upgrade the data to a new version. Do you remember them asking you that?
No.
Okay, so when if it asked you to keep the old, if you wanted to keep the old version, it's conceivable that it moved it to the trash.
That's a good thought.
Look in your trash.
Oh, I hope you're right.
But also, there's a way to get it out of your Time Machine backup. Do you have a Time Machine backup?
Yes, and I have another computer that still has that version on it, but don't I need an installer?
No, drag it, go get it and drag it over.
An installer. You can simply copy that application from the other computer to a jump drive, or a little flash drive, and take it to the computer where you've upgraded. And in the applications folder, go ahead and rename Evernote version 10, and then move the old one back. So they have different names.
Oh yeah, Time Machine is a blessing.
The bad news is if they change the form of the database where they store their information, it will tell you, sorry, this belongs to an old version. and you can't open it.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm
So,
meeting right now.
In
with
that
video.
case, you
Jean's
really have to go
asleep,
back and get the
okay?
old data. Since this is
Yeah,
such
no,
a
she's
drastic update,
not
that's
doing well
entirely
today.
possible
She's
if they change the form. Like Notes did that. Apple Notes says if you upgrade to this new version of Notes, you won't be able to access it, the old version of
Yeah, but
Notes.
she has the data that she can access on the old version of Evernote on her other
Yeah, but
computer.
it's not contained in the app. You'd have to go find out
No,
where they store the data.
If the data works with the old app on the other computer, therefore it has not been upgraded, so it doesn't work.
Well, you'd have to go get that data and bring it over too, besides the app,
It's
wherever they
online.
store it.
The data's online too.
My vote would be for her to call tech
That's
support
true. They
first.
sync. That's true. They sync it to the Evernote website and back to the other computer.
Yeah,
So does
well,
it still working on the other computer?
I haven't tried it, but that's.
Oh,
I think I would
try it.
make a change in your Evernote data, like test note or something, and let it sync and go to the other computer and see if you see test note. If it's there, that means it's still compatible, and that's a good sign.
And you think
If-
I could just copy the app and put it on this
If
computer?
you can see the test note on both computers, you can probably just drag the app off the old computer to over here, and that will probably work.
That would
I'm
be
going to
yes.
dissent here. I think what you're trying to do is to solve a simple problem with a complicated answer. And I still, since she pays for it, I suggest that she contact tech support first.
She
I
told
tried. I
you
couldn't
that
find
they
any.
don't do that. It's online.
I got ears. I heard her say that. So go online.
She did.
You know,
Okay.
go online and say, I need some help and give me a call or whatever. But she's a paying customer. And before you go and start destroying data on her active computer, I'd really recommend that you take the simplest and easiest way first. She already has the.
I agree with Rick, but also you might be able to go to one of the other computers and export the data into a file that you can bring over to the new one along with the old application.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah,
Well,
that would work too.
okay.
In answer to the second part of your
The
question,
data's in the cloud or something because
It syncs to the cloud, yes, but where it's stored on your computer, it's unknown.
Yeah.
It's not in the app. I guarantee you that.
but
It's probably in your
there's a-
library somewhere.
but certainly there's an export button, and then who cares
Sure.
where it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the answer to the second question, OneNote's pretty good. I used to use it, but I moved over to FS Notes. But OneNote is really good, and it synchronizes among all of your devices, iOS and Mac and PC, as well as I believe it even works on Chromebooks. So yeah, the price is right and it works, but you won't have the ability to import all of your old data, I don't believe.
Supposedly Evernote was exportable into Apple Notes. So
Oh,
I thought,
that's probably a good idea. Because that's free and that syncs to all your computers and it's an Apple
Yeah.
product.
but that's not, it would mix up with all my other stuff that's in Notes. I don't know how I would keep it separate.
Okay.
What was it? What is FS Notes?
FS Notes is not free, and it's a nice little note-taking application. I can't remember what I paid for it, but it's on the App Store.
Okay, well, this is very helpful.
Let's see if I can show you what it looks like. Can you see my menu here?
Yes.
Okay, so there's FS Notes. It should open, hopefully. I'm not seeing it. Maybe I have to turn, no, I can't turn off screen sharing. Is it behind?
It's
me
open.
here?
I can see it.
I see it.
You can? Oh,
Yeah, it's a drop down, right? No,
Yeah,
I don't see.
okay. Yeah, here it is. Can you see this window that's moving right
Yeah,
here? Okay, this
yes.
is FS notes. There's an inbox, notes to do. I don't use half of the features in this thing, but it's really good. You just work on it, and when you close it, it automatically saves.
Is Chris here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris
yes, I'm
used to
here.
use something and then you bailed out of it and went
I
you
used
bailed
to
out of
use-
Evernote and went to something.
Yeah, I used to use Evernote and I bailed out. Now I use Notability.
Okay, there's another
Notability.
choice.
Yeah, it's an app. You have to buy it, but it works really well. I use it on my iPhone and iPad, and it syncs across the cloud, and you've got a Mac version of it as well. And I really like it, and it's rated very well. Notability is good. There's another one, Goodreader. I can't remember. There's some other one that's very close. There's several that are very close, but I went for Notability. It works really well with a pen. I used to do demos of it in my iPad SIG and stuff like that.
I remember when you were doing that, I think I emailed you something I found about how to export Evernote into Notes or Notability or something. So you might Google how to export from Evernote to
Right.
maybe
right.
Notes. You said you don't want to do Notes because you have other stuff in Notes and you don't want to mix them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have other stuff in Notes as well that I don't want to mix up. Notability, I use it in the way I used to use Evernote in terms of I moved all my Evernote stuff into it, and it's like long-term notes. Like, I would keep a record of DVMUG meetings. I would keep my service schedule for my car and a bike and stuff like that. Long-term notes that I add to.
And you can have notebooks, as many notebooks as you want.
Right.
with all
They don't
different
call it
notebooks.
notebooks. They call it something else. They call it,
I have it up on the screen.
yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
So it looks like it's only
got 2 stars.
$1.99. That's pretty cheap.
It works, yeah. It works a lot better on the iPad. I can't remember how much it is on the iPad, but I use it
Only
mainly on
getting
the
2
iPad.
stars on the App Store.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
that.
that's not too impressive.
No.
But Evernote was so wonderful. It was so easy. I just threw things at it and could find them again.
Well, Evernote was the default. It was the most powerful note-taking program and it was free. And then they did this thing where you can only
Yeah.
use it on 3 computers unless you paid. And I bailed out of it. Chris bailed out of it.
Yeah, I bailed.
Well, I didn't
I
mind.
don't pay too many devices. I'm not paying a subscription for a note-taking app. Not when there's
Yeah, and it wasn't a one-time thing. It was a subscription. Like
Yeah.
Dropbox did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't use them anymore either.
I'll buy an app if it's good enough, but I'm not subscription for a note. No, I bailed.
Okay. And incidentally, I'm running Keynote in a different mode so that I can move other things onto my screen at the same time, and I can still see all of you guys.
Play in window, right? That's a new feature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
really,
they did that just
really-
for Zoom.
yeah, it's pretty nifty. So moving on, we'll skip question 2 and go directly to Greg, who I know is here. And he says, on the new Mac Mini, do you know if I can upgrade my own memory? That's on the computer, not me. Thanking you in advance for your help. Well, I can tell you on your memory, you could take Aricept, but no, unfortunately, the new Mac Mini that was announced today that we're going to talk about, it comes with fixed RAM, and the most you can go to is 16 gigs. But
Yeah, all
it's
all 3 new
$100 less.
machines come with 8, and you can upgrade to 16, and that's it. From Apple, that's it. You're done.
And when John says you can upgrade, that means Apple will do it for you, and you
200.
can't buy
200 to
buy
go
RAM
from
to
8 to
add
16,
yourself.
which is pretty steep for that amount of memory.
Yeah.
The old Mini that's still actually available, they did not discontinue the high-end Mini. You could upgrade the memory, but it was extremely difficult. You had to completely disassemble it, pull the power supply and the motherboard out, but you could go to 32 or 64 with standard memory that you could buy anywhere. So they still, for some reason, they kept the high-end Mini and they kept the high-end MacBook Pro 13 Intel machines for people who need to run stuff that they're not sure is going to run on the new chip. And so those are still available.
I think what they announced are just low-end machines because
They're
like
absolutely
MacBook
low-end
Pro is
machines
only a
because
2-port, whereas a high-end MacBook Pro is a 4-port. This is a low-end CPU, even though they say it's super fast and all that. That's great, but I think next year we're going to get the fast ones.
I think all these machines run the same chip, the same memory configurations, only 2 of them,
Yep.
and they all only have 2 USB 3. They're actually USB 4 ports.
Yeah.
The Mini went from 4 USB 3s to 2 USB 4s. They took out 2 of the ports. I think that chip can only handle 2.
No, there's still USB 3 ports. There's
No.
there in it, yes.
No.
In addition,
On the Mini, there's 2
And-
standard old-fashioned printer ports.
right.
But the faster USB-C connectors, there's only 2 on all
so
these
each
machines.
chip can only handle 2. So the
Right.
speculation is next year we'll get, dual core that could possibly handle 4.
Right,
Just
they'll
have
have to do that for the iMac so you can have more USB-C
Right.
ports. So these are basically these machines are basically all the same. And sort as the chip and the ports and the memory and everything. Which is really strange because the Mini and the Pro are basically the same machine, except the Pro has a touch bar and it's like $300 more.
And it's got a cooling fan, so it's going to have better heat tolerance for if
It
you.
has a fan and it has a bigger battery.
Yeah.
They'll clock it up. Okay. Apple upgrades and stuff.
We got another question. Who else was here? We had Evernote. Ann Costello's not here. The memory question. And didn't we have one more?
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay.
I have one that I just typed into the chat.
I can't see the chat.
Okay, it says, how can I share my reminders with my husband on his iPhone, etc.?
I think that Mike covered that in the first 2 meetings, didn't he? In iOS 14, share reminders.
I thought he did.
Anybody remember how to do it? Okay, if you
I
think he
think what
covered
you
it.
have to do is in your iCloud account, I think you need to set it up in a shared folder there. Set your data up in a shared folder and give that address to the other Apple user. But I don't do that, so
I think I would go to Google and say, how do I share Apple reminders?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
You want to demo the Flash uninstaller while we're still got a little time and questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Ann is going to do that.
Is everybody plugged in on what we're talking about on Flash uninstaller? Before the meeting started,
You can show,
somebody
she
indicated
sent an
that
email
they-
with a screenshot of the message. Maybe you can show that in first class.
that several people had received a message indicating that Flash is going to be discontinued, and do you want to uninstall it? But without
Can
any
you show the
instructions
screenshot
on how to
she sent?
accomplish that.
Can you show the screenshot she sent in her
Jan?
email?
Wasn't it?
Because
Jan
this is real
Chesney?
common.
No, I
Everybody who
can't.
has Flash installed is going to see this.
Is it in? Is the email
class.
in
First class.
First class?
Zoom mail.
Okay, let me bring it up.
Yeah, in Zoom mail.
Okay, I'll bring it up. And go to Zoom mail. Oh, there's 2 in there now. No,
That's it.
Janet Chesney.
That one
Email
is highlighted.
Evernote.
Email, no.
That's Evernote.
Email
No,
from
the top one.
Adobe Flash, the top question.
Yeah, that one.
That's Maddie.
Yeah,
that's
okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's
yeah.
That's it. That's the Flash question. That's
Oh,
it.
here's the button to uninstall it. All you have to do is click that button.
Right, but a lot of people are getting this and they don't know what it means. If you get this, the answer is push the uninstall button and get rid of it. It's dead. It's dead. It's going away at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You might as well just get rid of it. That's all you have to do. If you have Flash installed, Ann will show you how you would run the uninstaller manually. Right, Ann?
Sure, but
and-
it may be non-standard. I got so much Adobe crap in my folder that,
That's okay. You'll show them where it
Yeah,
is and what
sorry.
it looks like.
okay, so go ahead and stop sharing your screen, Rick.
Okay, let me. Boom, boom, boom. I can't.
When I got
see
this
that
message
part
pop
anymore.
up, I just went to 10 machines
we
and ran
go.
that manual uninstaller and got rid of it.
There we
I'm
go.
done with it.
Okay, hang on, let me get some stuff out of the way on my desktop here.
And while you're doing that, I might add that you can all get by without Flash because we have Preview, and Preview will open any of that Flash stuff.
Well, that's Adobe Reader you're talking about that opens PDFs.
I'm sorry, yeah, Reader. Excuse me.
Okay, let me
Even
just-
Preview.
let me finish this so you see my screen now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to click in the Finder. So the Finder's active. See that in the top menu bar? Then if you click on the word Go, you can scroll down to a folder called Utilities. Inside Utilities, there is an Adobe Flash Player Install Manager. If you double click that, it says uninstall. So uninstall. And I have to type my computer password.
Oh, is that what it is?
And it says
And
I have to quit Safari because Safari is a component. So I'm going to try that. I quit. I went down to my dock and I quit Safari. Down here at the
you could
bottom,
just-
there was
yeah.
a black dot underneath it. And now I'm going to retry. And it's
there you
done.
go. There you go.
That's it. It's easy peasy.
And it also removes itself from the utilities folder.
Yeah.
And go
So
through
go
the
ahead
steps
and do
one more
it.
time. You do it quickly. I'm
I
making some
can't
notes.
do it again. It's already done.
What
I
can you
can't.
just?
I
So
cannot.
go.
All right.
I click on
I'll
Go
figure
in
it
the
out.
top menu bar.
Yeah.
And drag down to the Utilities folder.
Okay.
Find the
Then
Adobe
you-
Install Manager. Double click it. Run it. If for example, my Safari was running, it will tell you you need to quit that first.
Right. Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. Read the words in the screen. It'll tell you what's going on.
Right. All right.
So all of us
Okay.
should basically do that. All of us should get rid of that.
Yep. Get rid of it. It's done.
Yeah.
Quick question. What is Adobe Air install?
Some programs use that. You can try to uninstall that too. It'll tell you if you try to uninstall it, if you have any programs that are using it, and it'll warn you. This program is using this. If you uninstall it, this program will stop working. If it doesn't warn you, then you don't have anything that's using it, and how it got there, God knows. Adobe put it in. You have some Adobe products?
Not that I know of, but I did it one time.
Go ahead and run the uninstaller then.
We'll try it.
Okay.
Adobe products install so much crap on your computer, it's unbelievable. There's stuff everywhere.
Second only to Microsoft.
Well,
And you don't need them. You
debatable.
can,
So last week, iOS 14.2 came out. And when I put this thing together, they pointed out that there were some new emojis. And this is a partial list of those. So I'm not sure what utility they serve, but they're there. And security updates, lots of security updates have happened. New wallpapers are there. There's new now playing controls to the lock screen. AirPlay 2 controls have been redesigned. And one very interesting thing that if you use Shazam, they have added a Shazam toggle that you can put into Control Center. And you don't have to have a copy of Shazam on your computer to know to use it. And what is Shazam? For those who don't know, sometimes you'll may hear a song and you say, what the heck is the name of that song? And if you turn on Shazam while you're hearing it, it will identify the song after sometimes just a few notes. It's really pretty amazing. And then you can watch the video. Strangely enough, I happen to have it here. And also one other thing, on the new keynote now, I will be including the videos that I post onto the bulletin board because the URL is embedded and it doesn't add to the size of the presentation. So here we go. Well, I think I forgot to share sound, right?
Yeah, we don't hear anything.
Okay, let me go to share screen, share computer sound, share. Here we go. Go back to the beginning.
Release candidate. Check it out. How's it going, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Jeff Benjamin with 9 to 5 Mac. So
Make
on
it
the
full
iOS
screen.
14 release candidate, yes, I said release candidate. Apple's no longer
What,
calling
John?
it.
Yeah, make that YouTube full screen.
Okay.
The bottom right corner of the YouTube window, there's a little button to make it full screen.
GM, you're no longer going to get this annoying
Yeah, right
pop-up
there.
message
Work?
every time you unlock your
Yeah.
phone. So
Should
that's
make it full
one of my
screen.
favorite changes of 14.2
It's not
RC.
working.
And of course, one of the
Is it watchable at all, or shall I?
Yeah, but it's like a quarter of the screen. It should fill your whole screen if you hit that little button.
Oh, because he's using the new keynote feature for design. For
Oh,
screens.
it's stuck in the keynote window. You need to make the keynote window bigger, I
Okay,
guess.
I'm gonna do that. I have to restart Keynote. And go to 11:10. And how's that?
Yeah, that's better. Perfect.
hands-on with iOS 14.2 release candidate. Check it out. How's it going, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Jeff Benjamin with 9 to 5 Mac. So on the iOS 14 release candidate, yes, I said release candidate, Apple's no longer calling it a GM. You're no longer going to get this annoying pop-up message every time you unlock your phone. So that's one of my favorite changes of 14.2 RC. And of course, one of the most outstanding features, or should I say one of the 8 most outstanding features of iOS 14.2 are the 8 new wallpapers, actually really 16 new wallpapers when you include their dark variants. So let's take a look at all 16 of these wallpapers right now. The thing I like about these wallpapers, well, at least some of them, is that they're not all abstract images, produced in Adobe Illustrator. These look like real life locations here. And of course you have some illustrations, but these illustrations are probably based on real locations at least. And the cool thing is that just like all the wallpapers nowadays, you get 2 variants. So you get the light mode and the dark mode, and you can see the stars in the sky at the top of those dark wallpapers. Those look excellent. What do you guys think about those? Which one is your favorite? Let me know down below in the comment section. I know I will be rocking one of these wallpapers on my iPhone 12. If you haven't seen our iPhone 12 top features video, be sure to click the link down below in the description for that as well. All right, so let's talk about another big feature for iOS 14.2. And you probably already know where I'm going with this. Of course, you have over 100 new emoji characters in 14.2. Let's talk about some of the more outstanding ones like this one right here. I love this disguise face. That is such an awesome emoji. What do you guys think? Let me know. But that's not where it stops, of course. We're going to actually use the iOS 14 search feature, the emoji search feature, which I love, to be able to search for these new emojis. So dodo, you see the new dodo emoji. And I'm just going to type boom for boomerang. You see it in there. It's backspace. There we go. Keep them big, just like that. So you have those 3 new emojis. Let's talk about some others. Let's go ahead and use our search again. Let's type in pinch. There we go. Pinch of salt, just like that. Or maybe that's a chef's kiss or the beginning of a chef's kiss. I don't know. Now let's talk about one of my favorites, the smile with the tear. Smiley, no, let's search again. Let's try tear. Here we go. Now I don't want to read into this too deeply, but you see the smile, you see the tear. Maybe it's a hallmark moment. We don't know for sure, but that is a new emoji. And there's also the ninja as well. There's also bubble tea. Still haven't tried it yet. If anyone has any recommendations, let me know. And then you have the mask. And the mask obviously is an old emoji, but notice he's smiling this time, no longer frowning. All right, so let's talk about the new lock screen interface for music. And you're going to notice quite a few changes here. The obvious change, the big change, is the fact that the album artwork is much larger than before. You also get a larger button for your volume control. So you can grab that and drag it to the left or to the right to increase or reduce volume. And you'll also notice a new design for the AirPlay icon in the upper right-hand corner. You tap on that and you get this brand new AirPlay interface. And this allows you to output to different AirPlay speakers on your home network. It also allows you to control other speakers and TVs as well. And like I said, this is a brand new design. Looks a lot different than we had before. So let's go ahead and tap this button here. And now you can control other AirPlay 2 destinations on your home network. So I can pause or play any of these locations if I want to do so. So I can play there in the living room and office or pause. Pretty cool. And you can just tap out to get back just like that. So this is the new lock screen interface. Notice also you get the little indicator on the album artwork that shows you the source of the now playing music as well. So here is our music app. Looks beautiful, of course, from iOS 14. If you tap the AirPlay button, again, you get that nice popover with the new AirPlay 2 interface for iOS 14.2. So again, you can go in here, change your destinations, you can control your music. You can even see, as you see right there, when speakers are active on your network, you see a little animation. And if I pause that, you're going to see that little animation stop. So you see that animation right there? And watch what happens when I go in and control other speakers around the network. I'm going to go ahead and pause that one. And you're going to see that animation is no longer active, indicating that there's no music being played on that current speaker, which is really awesome. So you can quickly see that at a glance. A little bit different on some of the earlier betas, but nonetheless, I like how it is currently on 14.2 RC. All right, another cool feature is the completely redesigned AirPlay 2 interface in Control Center, which looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the prior version wasn't terrible, let's be honest, but this version is a lot more appealing to the eye, and it's actually a little bit more functional as well. We'll talk about that. One of the things that stands out to me, though, is the source icon. So you can see where this music is playing from, whether it's playing from the podcast app or the music app or other sources. You can see that right there with that handy little icon. And of course, you have your scrubbers. You can scrub through all your music. You also have your transport controls to play, go back to the prior song, skip forward, and control volume. You have the name of the song as well. You also have the source speaker. And of course, if you tap the AirPlay icon, you can output to other devices on your network as well, other AirPlay 2 devices. And you also see your disclosure triangle if you're outputting to multiple speakers. And the cool thing is you can still see your transport controls. In the prior version of iOS 14, it would hide those transport controls when in this view. But now you have more functionality within the AirPlay 2 Control Center interface, which is awesome. And let's go ahead and play one of my favorite podcasts here, of course, 9 to 5 Mac Happy Hour. Definitely subscribe to that if you haven't done so already. So informative. But you could see, notice the source. It's showing podcasts now. And you see that beautiful 9 to 5 Mac happy hour album artwork. Shout out Michael Stieber for the awesome artwork. And here on the lock screen, you can also see that source icon as well. All right, so let's go back in here. And if we're not playing music, notice what you get here. You get suggestions, not only from the music app, but also from recently played podcasts as well. You simply tap on one of those, it starts playing that music immediately. And if you tap on the album artwork, guess what? It takes you right to that destination, or it takes you right to the source, I should say. And if you have AirPods connected and you're not currently playing any music, guess what you get on the lock screen? You get suggestions there as well. You can scroll through like that and simply tap on one of those, and voila, your selection begins playing just like that. Super handy little functionality here in iOS 14.2. But that's not where the music goodness ends in 14.2. If we go into Settings Control Center, you're going to find a new music recognition toggle for Shazam. So you can add that directly to Control Center and have Shazam functionality right there, just a swipe away. So now you can be completely inconspicuous about trying to learn what song is playing in the background. Sometimes, I don't know, for me, it's kind of embarrassing. I feel like sometimes I should know the song, and I know I really shouldn't be embarrassed about such a thing, but you know, whatever. But this allows you, as you can see, to be completely inconspicuous, and you can instantly learn what song is playing. So you simply tap on the banner notification, you saw it there. It takes you directly to Shazam. You even saw the video for Sakura Drops, and then you just tap on play in Apple Music and it loads. Now, if we go to settings and go to sound and haptics, you're gonna notice that reduce loud sounds is now renamed headphone safety. And then you'll find actually reduce loud sounds within that section. So you get headphone notifications and reduce loud sounds, both really aimed at helping you stay conscious of your hearing health, which is awesome. Now, another change you'll notice here in 14.2 is the Apple Watch app icon. Now it displays the Apple Watch with a solo loop, which was of course launched alongside the Apple Watch Series 6 and the Apple Watch SE. And if you have an Apple Card, you'll find a new month breakdown within the Apple Wallet app to help you track your spending on a month-to-month basis. And in iOS 14.2, you'll notice the new intercom functionality within the Home app. This was, of course, launched alongside the HomePod Mini at the iPhone 12 event. And you can simply tap the intercom button, talk to the intercom, and it'll play back with the dubious sound quality. All right, so you'll also find some intercom settings within the Home app there that you can go in and adjust. And intercom will eventually work across all of your major devices like your Apple Watch and iPhone, etc. Now, another thing I notice here is that some of the HDR videos that I created and I sent to my iPhone, the thumbnails were kind of messed up on the prior version of iOS. Now it seems to be fixed in 14.2. Now, here's another really interesting feature in 14.2. You notice no music was actually playing. You can see there on my local device, nothing is playing, but I can ask Siri to stop music playback and watch what happens here. So I'm going to invoke Siri, stop music, and notice what happens. I get this little card that pops up and music playback on my HomePod stops. So it recognizes that no, there's no music playing back on your phone, but yes, music is playing back on the HomePod. Let me go ahead and pause that. And that little card pops up to allow me to control my HomePod speaker. So talk about handy, talk about intuitiveness. I mean, iOS 14 has it in spades. Another thing that you'll appreciate here for your AirPods Pro, if you own AirPods Pro, you have those paired to your device. Now you can enable optimized battery charging to reduce battery aging. So this will basically make it so it will wait to finish charging past 80% until you need to use your AirPods, thus saving battery. So ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think about iOS 14.2 RC? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. This is Jav with the 9 to 5 Mac.
Rick, we noticed that the video was pretty jerky with his hand movements. It may not work to stream from the web into Keynote and then try to do it in Zoom.
I think Rick's muted.
Oh, sorry. I can't see that from here. So I appreciate the comment on that. Okay, so there's a lot of new stuff there, as you can see. Now, similarly, iOS 14, iPad OS 14.2 came out, and I'm not going to go through the whole list because we got a lot more stuff to talk about. But
Might want to turn
you
your
can
video
see
back
that-
on too, Rick.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Hello again. So you can see this and review it at your convenience when you review this later on. But on some of the new stuff, for instance, you'll see that the LiDAR will be in the new iPads, and there will be battery aging controls. I think that will go into the old iPads as well. Intercom support for the new HomePod, which you saw him demonstrate for you. So anyway, and then there are other fixes. So I'm trying to, when
What's
I hit the
LiDAR?
space bar, there we go. Okay, what's happening? I was clicking with my mouse to try and get the slide to change, but that control doesn't work. I have to hit the space bar to make it work now. So, and there's even more. There's updates to the home iPod or the HomePod, and the watch has been improved. And I might say that the watch update took far less time than previous watch updates did, with at least with my iWatch 6.
And the
Any-
Apple TV, basically everything was updated.
Yeah. Were there any questions about any of that stuff?
What's LiDAR?
LiDAR is sort of like radar, but it's very short range, and it's used to take measurements. I don't believe that the older iPods have got LiDAR built in, but you'll notice on the newer ones that there is an extra, looks like a camera, but doesn't have a lens on it. That's the LiDAR radiator, and it radiates an electronic wave that goes out and takes measurements of the rooms, and that's going to be used for the, what do they call that?
Augmented
reality.
reality.
Pardon me?
Augmented reality.
Yes, the augmented reality systems that are popular with a lot of the young folks. I don't know how
Yes,
many of us here.
It's also used on the new iPhone Pro for focusing in distance in the dark.
Ah, yes, that's right.
So we can focus even though it doesn't have to turn on the flash and get light to focus. It uses the LiDAR to focus. So it's supposed to be a big improvement.
And I understand it's very accurate, that you can map out a room very easily.
Or you can also, it's used to, like, you can point it at somebody and it'll measure their height and tell you how tall they are, things like that. You can measure stuff.
Yeah, or how far it is from here to there. And when
Right.
you point your camera at something, it'll put a box around it, and you can then measure it. Or you can even measure a box. If you're going to be traveling, you could take a suitcase and you could get all the dimensions of it to see if it's going to legally go in the airplane or not. I don't know anybody who takes airplanes much anymore until all this COVID is gone. I know I'm not getting on an airplane. So anyway, that's what LiDAR does. So Apple's move to Apple Silicon. The new Mac Mini is out. Unfortunately, I had to put this all together just around the noontime after the program this morning ended. So I don't have a lot of text, and I'm counting on John and Ann to help me out here to talk about the new Mini. It starts at $699. And I got some notes that I took. If I can
That's
find them.
a $100 reduction in price.
It's using the new M1 chip. And the M1 chip is going to be using less power. Instead of having several chips on the motherboard, the M1 is kind of an all-in-one. It's used with the new technology that Apple has that Intel doesn't have, the 5 nanometers. In other words, each little wire, if you want to call it a wire or conductor, is only 5 nanometers in diameter, which allowed them then to put, were you ready for this? 16 billion transistors on that chip. 16 billion, B is in Boston, billion. It has 8 cores, 4 are high performance cores, and the other 4 are high efficiency cores. That allows the machine to work kind of in tandem so that it can operate at the highest possible speed with the greatest efficiency. Also embedded into that chip, as a part of the chip, is a built-in graphics with 8 cores, an 8-core GPU, and it is the fastest graphic integrated system that Apple has ever done. It uses a third of the power of any previous processor. And it also includes a 16-core neural engine with a secure enclave. I didn't get the whole description of the secure enclave. Did you, John or Ann?
Well, that's what they had, a separate T2 chip for the fingerprint reader where they store your information like that. Well,
Yeah.
that's all built in to the
Yeah.
main chip. All the chips on the motherboard that they used to do for all the other processors are all in one now.
Yeah, and
it's like the iPhone and the iPad. There's just one chip.
Yeah, and the entire motherboard on the new Mini, they described as about the size of an old memory chip, the old dual inline memory module that you used to be able to buy. That's the whole thing. And it has 2 USB 4 and two Thunderbolt ports on it. So $699, $100 less than ever before.
Some of the things that I saw on the website under Buy Now, looking at the back, so it has the old model, which they still sell, and it had 4 USB-C ports. This has 2 USB-C ports, because I believe this chip can only handle 2. All these 3 machines have the same chip and the same specs, same memory specs, everything.
But but it still has the old USB ports, right?
Two of the legacy USB-A ports, which are the speed is USB 3 for your keyboard and your mouse and whatever your old stuff.
Yeah.
It also doesn't have the option. The old one had the option for 10 gigabit Ethernet. You had to pay extra. That's not an option on this. But that isn't built into the new chip either yet.
So this is just gigabit?
Yeah, gigabit Ethernet, no 10 gigabit option like the Intel model had.
Yeah. Of course, I don't know anybody with 10 gigabit Ethernet.
No, but that was something that's not available. But also it comes in 2 flavors of memory. All these machines come with 8, $200 extra to go to 16. The Mini, the old one, you could upgrade the memory yourself with standard memory chips you could buy anywhere, but you had to pull the motherboard and the power supply and the whole machine apart to do it, but you could do it, and you could go up to 32 or 64. This one's limited at 16 and not upgradable at all. You have to do it from Apple when you purchase it. Pick your 8 or your, if you want to go to 8, from 8 to 16, you pay the extra and that's it, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. They used a lot of glittering terms in the description today, but one I made a note of that I thought was it's supposed to be a moving moment when they said it, but I thought, what a bunch of baloney. And that quote was, "We are in the future right now." Well, of course we are. Anyway,
This is the beginning of the future.
yeah. So is tomorrow morning. So let's see, moving on.
We have seen the future and it is us.
Yeah. I think that's a paraphrase of Pogo when he said, "We've seen the enemy and it's us," isn't it?
This is kind of confusing because it looks like there's two different models. It used to be when you got the upgraded model, you get a faster CPU. Well, basically, it's just an upgrade in storage. So if you pick the cheap one and go to options, you can upgrade the storage to the same as the next model, and it's the same price. It's why there's two different models, I don't know. They're the same chip.
Well, one's got a 256.
Exactly, but you can, if you pick the 256 model and you go
Yeah.
buy, it has an option to upgrade the memory and an option
go
to
to
upgrade the
512.
storage to 512 anyway.
Yeah.
And then
But
it equals. So it used to be you'd get a better CPU or something better besides just the memory, but it's not.
Yeah,
There's one
you
chip
get
the same
better-
everywhere. Yeah, it's
You could get a better graphic card.
yeah. The
in there.
Mini's the same way. They show two models, but it's really just an option for more storage or more memory.
Yeah.
There is
So
only
now they
one
make
chip.
16-inch MacBook Airs.
No.
No, that's a 60. See, it says new. The 16 is old. The old MacBook,
If you
not
click
the Air.
here,
Yeah, but
That's
the
the
thing is,
here,
you've
Switches
got
to
a
the
slide
engine.
that's labeled MacBook Air, but it looks like what you actually have pictures of is MacBook Pros.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's right. It's got
Yeah,
the,
you got the wrong label on it.
Yeah, I didn't label that. I screenshot that.
No, they made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, because only the
Oh,
Pro.
I know why. See, label that and the box around new 13-inch, those are the Airs. But
Oh,
those
no,
aren't
it's
the
a
Airs. Those are the
13-inch
Pros.
Pro.
They got the touch bar.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. 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 So the MacBook Air, I don't think I have a picture of the MacBook Air. Now this is the 13-inch MacBook Pro also.
So it used to be
The
when you
MacBook-
bump up from the Air to the Pro, you'd maybe get more ports, a better graphics, or something that you couldn't get by just optioning. And that's not the case.
Now there's a video that we're not going to run here because it is, I'm not going to run it.
How's it going, lady?
It's 36 minutes long, so we're not going to do that.
That's on Big Sur.
It's all on Big Sur, and Big Sur is being released Thursday,
Right.
day after tomorrow.
I have Golden Master public beta Golden Master candidate on this admin machine, so I knew it was coming. So it's ready.
Yeah, have you found
only-
anything that won't run on it?
I haven't used it a lot. I've been using it, for the last month or so, hosting the meeting and recording the video and uploading it to YouTube and such. That's all I've basically used it for. And I haven't seen any problems.
Yeah. One of the things in the MacBook Air with the M1 chip is that they're able to get maximum performance out of it, and there's no fan. So they're able, because it uses less power, to get better performance out of it with less heat. The SSDs for the MacBook Air are reportedly twice as fast as previous SSDs. And let's see. The
It's
MacBook
interesting
Air
that
itself,
the Air has no fan, but the Pro has a fan.
yes. So that makes me think that they're just clocking it faster. The same
Yeah,
chip to run
they
faster.
expect people to use the Pro harder.
Yeah. but the MacBook Air is 3.5 times faster than previous generations. It will give you 18 straight hours of video playback. There is new modifications to the camera, but unfortunately, the cameras are still 720p. And they didn't tell you that. They just said that there were improvements to the camera, but they never gave you resolution specs. But I did a little search around, and apparently it's going to be 720p still. So the MacBook Air starts at $999. If you get an educator discount, it'll be $899. And let's see what else. Sorry, I have my notes. On the Mac Mini, it's 3.5 times faster CPU, 6 times faster graphics. As John pointed out, it's $100 less. It starts at $699. So, you know, that's going to be a small drive, probably 256.
Yep, 256 is the base in all of these, and you can
Yeah.
go up to 2 terabytes or 4 terabytes on the Mini, but it was like $800 extra. Outrageous for the size.
It really is. But it's a good little machine. It's going to be great for most people. Then on the MacBook Pro with the M1, it'll be 2.8 times faster than the previous Mac Pros. I have a 16-inch MacBook Pro with an Intel chip in it, so I assume it'll be faster than mine. It will support 8K video. It will support 17 hours of browsing. According to Leo Laporte, he said Apple's figures for battery life are generally pretty honest and sometimes a little bit short of reality, so that maybe you might get even more. It has the longest battery life ever, and 2 studio quality mics. Well, that's what they said about my machine too. Improved camera, as I said, 720.
What I noticed is everybody said, oh, they had this big thing. Oh, the camera's improved for doing FaceTime. It's got all these improvements in software. You go look at the specs on the sales page, it's still a 720p camera. They did not upgrade the camera to a 1080 camera, which is disappointing.
Right. Yeah. And there are only 2 Thunderbolt ports on it because of what Ann pointed out, that the architecture of that chip as a single chip can only handle 2 ports. But you can use an adapter, much like that Sateki I have, that will give you plenty of outputs. On mine, I've got 3 USBs, 1 USB-C, 1 HDMI, and Ethernet output, as well as photo card readers.
I believe it's going to require you'll be able to use your USB-C port on this, but you won't get Thunderbolt 4 and USB 4 speeds. You'll have to have a new adapter to get those higher speeds, I believe.
I didn't see that. Maybe
yeah, because
so.
they're called Thunderbolt 4/USB 4 ports. They're the same physical connection, but they're actually faster.
Well, I know on mine, my MacBook, 16-inch MacBook Pro, it advertised the ports the same, but and you don't need any adapter to get the Thunderbolt performance out of them, although they're Thunderbolt 3, I believe.
Right. Thunderbolt 4.
You just connect it to a Thunderbolt 3 device directly. And one other thing, the chime is back, the startup chime.
They also, the specs also said they have Wi-Fi 6.
Yes.
That's new.
Yeah. Let's see. The new Big Sur, when you wake it from sleep, will start instantly. Safari is 150% faster. All the apps are instant start, they say. It will support 6K video, has advanced power management, advanced security, and all of Apple's applications are updated for the M1. But the older apps will run fine under Rosetta 2. So that means that there's handwriting on the wall. In a couple of years, they're not going to run.
Yeah. Photoshop
So,
is not going to be native for until next year.
Yeah.
Adobe apps are not going to be, they'll run, who knows how well those Adobe apps are going to run converted till they're
And
native.
that's why I got a deal on Photoshop Elements a few months ago for $50
Yeah.
because they knew. And you know, I
All
still
that's,
haven't had an
all
opportunity
that's
to
yet
even
to be
fire it up
seen.
yet.
And I'll be sure there'll be plenty of people testing this and writing stuff up about how all this stuff runs, the old stuff.
And iOS apps, like on your phone, the phone apps, they will run on your Macs now under Rosetta.
If the developer puts them in the Mac App Store. Facebook and Google said they're not putting their apps in the Mac App Store. So it's not just you can run anything and it's all there. You have to download it from the Mac App Store and they have to put it up there for you to do that.
Okay, that's all I have.
Rick,
Yes.
I had a question about my computer. I sent you an email.
You know, you did, and I don't think I got back to you, did I?
No.
Let me bring it up on my computer here, on my live iPad. Did you send it to me or put it in the Q&A?
I sent it to you.
Well, maybe you sent it to my email. Let me go there. Go to email. How am I going to search on? How do you search on the iPad? Oh, there it is. NG. Here you go, Eleanor. There you are. Issues with my Apple computer. Let's see what the question is. Having an issue with my computer. On my laptop with Mac OS Catalina, I'm having issues printing items. Oh, this is the HP issue, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you have an HP printer?
Yeah, an NV4250.
Do you get a dialog box up on your screen talking about HP software being malware? Okay. Okay, so there's directions that have been posted. I don't know if we can get them up now, but it's not malware.
All right.
Okay. It's an HP mistake where they didn't update the software and Apple automatically considered it malware, and it's erroneous.
And very wisely, though, Eleanor ran Malware Bytes, and Malware Bytes said, no, it's clean.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was good that you did that, Eleanor.
Thank you. So what can I do? Is there anything I can do, or?
You have to reinstall your software, your HP software.
But I don't know where it is. I might have misplaced it. So
let me go to screen sharing and I'll show you how to do this.
Okay.
I had the same problem and I was able to go in like you're saying, Rick, and delete it.
Yeah. Okay, now can you see my screen? I'm going to System Preferences.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to go here to Printers and Scanners. Do you see the little circle? Printers and Scanners. Okay, so I'm going to click on my printers and scanners, and you'll see here, there are my two printers, Epson and Brother. Now,
Okay,
if I want, what you should do is click on that HP and then click down here on that little minus. That will remove that driver. Okay, that will take it out
okay,
so that your computer won't print at all at this point. So now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to this plus.
No, that's
No?
not, no. You
Oh,
have to
okay.
remove the framework from the library. So go ahead and open your hard drive icon.
okay, wait a minute. So, okay, so
Rick,
I'm gonna,
Rick is gonna open, this part's a little complicated. Rick's gonna open his hard drive icon. Now he's gonna open, where's your utility, your library.
I went to library. Here's how I got to library.
okay, where's library?
Okay,
Right here.
I
You see
think,
where it
hold on,
says
guys.
go?
Hey, guys,
No,
time out.
time
I
out.
think she should share her screen.
Yeah.
See, it could be in the user library, but I've seen it in the main library. There's two
That's-
libraries.
So I'm gonna go to library.
Can you share your screen?
I
You
don't
see
know
the
how to
green?
do it.
There on the bottom of the Zoom window, there's a button that says share screen.
Oh, okay.
It's green.
It says host. Oh, wait, share screen.
Share desktop 1.
It says host disabled participant.
You have to
Oh,
make.
I got it. All right, hold on.
Is there somebody who knows how to do this that has an HP printer installed?
I do not.
I have an HP printer installed, and I went into Finders, and I'm not sure where I went after that, but it wasn't hard, and I found it.
You already did it though.
I already did it because I got scared to death just like she did, and there was an HP update, and that's when it got screwed up.
So I would go to Finder and then from there go where?
I don't know. I don't remember. What I
Oh,
did.
printer and screen? Or
Um,
printer and scanner?
So it's in the library. There's either in the user library or the main library, there's a printers folder.
Can she share the screen, John?
I'm trying to find her.
Eleanor Ng, NG.
I'm not seeing her.
If talk, Eleanor, and your face will
Yeah,
pop
I
up.
don't. I'm
Oh,
not seeing
okay.
her in the.
Count to 10.
Oh, she's
1,
okay. Eleanor. Okay, okay. E.
2,
I
3,
don't
4,
see her
5,
in
6,
here.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Did that help, John? You could identify her?
Not seeing her. Oh, here she is. Okay. Push the green button to share screen.
Okay. All right.
Share desktop 1.
Okay. Does that help? Okay.
It's not showing.
Does
Oh.
Rick need to unscreen?
Yeah, Rick needs to stop sharing.
Oh,
his-
yeah. Rick needs to stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. God. I'm sorry.
Okay, Eleanor, push share screen and share desktop 1.
Okay, share screen, desktop 1. Open system preference.
Oh, geez, she got to modify her preferences.
Oh. What do I need to do?
This may not work.
I'll show you how this works.
Okay.
I don't have it, but I'll show you where it is. Okay.
All right.
Okay, share screen. Share this screen. Okay.
All right.
You seen my screen, everybody?
Yep.
Okay, so what you do is you open your hard drive. Here's my hard drive up here in the corner. I got to
Right.
get this out of the way so you can see that. You see my little 500 GB SD? Open it up. In here, you will see library. You open library. In the library, you will see printers.
Okay.
All right, there's printers. You open printers and you will see an HP folder. I actually do have an HP folder. So you would throw that in the trash. You drag that down to the trash. I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
But you put HP in the trash and empty the trash. And then you go into, once that's done,
Right.
you go to System Preferences. And you go to Printers and Scanners. And you will have, I have an HP laser in here that's broken that I haven't deleted it. So you would go in here and find your HP.
Yeah.
You push the minus button and it will disappear from the list. And then once it's gone, you push the plus button. And if your HP is plugged in and turned on, it will find it and it will add it. And it may ask you, do you want to download the software from Apple? Say yes. It will get the Apple software instead of the HP software that's causing the problem.
Okay, so then I would click
That
yes.
should fix it. That should fix it.
Okay, so I would click yes if it asks to install
Yeah.
Yes.
Apple.
Yeah. Say, do you want to install the software from Apple? Because you don't have the software anymore because you threw it away from the printer folder. And it will say, and it'll mention that it's going to get it from Apple, not from HP.
Okay.
And say yes, and the Apple software is not messed up. It's the HP software that's messed up.
Okay, I'll do it then.
So this would typically happen if you use the CD that came with the printer to install, or you downloaded it from the HP website, you would have got the HP software instead of the version from Apple.
Okay.
That's
All
probably
right,
what
I'll
happened.
try that
That's
then.
probably how people are getting this. Not everybody sees it because I never go and install any software from a CD or from a website unless the Apple one doesn't work.
Yeah,
I can't remember how I did it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had it for a number of years and all of a sudden disappeared.
That's an appropriate thing that John just mentioned too. Keep in mind, when a printer's manufactured, it goes into a box and then it goes to a distributor. And it's got the software in there and it'll stay on the distributor shelves as long as it takes before it's sent out to a retailer. Now, there may be two distributors involved there. So you're talking not a few days, but sometimes months that a printer will be sitting on the shelf unsold. By the time it's sold, it may have been a year or more since it was manufactured. And by then, your operating system may have been updated a couple or three times, which may obviate that driver that came with the printer. Thus, John points out, he says, I never use the software that comes with the printer, nor do I. I always ask Apple to install the software for me, and therefore you're always up to date. And Apple keeps just about every printer there is going.
Yeah, the CD and the software you download from the website typically puts a bunch of other junk in there that you don't want, like photo apps that replace the photos, Apple's photo apps if you don't have it, a bunch of stuff that you absolutely don't want. And it usually has a piece of scan software for you to use if your printer has a scan function, but that's all built into Apple builds all that into image capture. If you go to System Preferences and Printer, and you choose your printer, you'll see a tab for Scanner. You click that and it'll open up image capture and you scan with the built-in Apple software and you don't have all this crummy third-party stuff that breaks and it's 32-bit. Almost all these printer drivers from the other manufacturers are all 32-bit and they won't work once you go past Mojave.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll try it.
Good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other observations?
I have an old Epson sitting here on my desk, Epson scanner, and it works perfectly with image capture. I was shocked. I mean, it's really old.
I have a question. How many of you folks have ever used the function in the Apple operating system called Clips? Does anybody
That's
know?
only in iOS. It's not in Mac OS.
Right. I'm sorry. Did I say Apple operating
Yeah,
system?
I'm sure
Yeah.
it probably will come eventually, but it's only in
Yeah.
iOS.
I saw a hand go up. One person used it.
What's
It's
it
like
called?
Clips, CLIPS. It's
Yeah.
basically a mini iMovie for iPhone, so you can make little mini movies and post them to Instagram and stuff.
Or send them off to other
Yeah.
people
It's a
through.
miniature video editor.
Yeah. I was thinking I might talk about that next week, if there's any interest in it.
Well, next week is the class for messages.
Oh, okay. The
Thank
week,
God. Good.
the week
Yeah,
after maybe.
next week the class will be messages and more. I looked at the outline and it's all about messages. A lot of
Okay.
stuff in there.
Good.
John, Jim,
Hey, Jim.
I have a question on another subject, but I ran into this really catch-22, which is really frustrating. And yesterday, and my partner has an old 2011 MacBook Air, and it had Yosemite on it. And I thought,
That's pretty old.
I'm gonna upgrade the last thing it can use, High Sierra. So I went to the link on High Sierra, tried to download it. It said, cannot download this OS. Then it sent me in a circle that made me have to go through to recovery.
Yeah.
Went to recovery. Then the only thing it would let me do is, erase the hard drive and then put on Lion, which was the original thing. But then I went to get Lion. It said, cannot download the parts for this Mac OS system. Left me with a question mark on the computer.
Oh, geez.
So is there anything simple way?
So you wiped it out.
I wiped it out. Is there anything?
You're gonna have to download the High Sierra installer onto like another computer and put it on a disk. Actually, you got to put it on something you can boot off of.
Right.
Well, maybe he's got a clone, John. Do you have a clone?
Did you make a backup before you did this? A duplicate?
There was not that much on it, so I didn't do that. So
Yikers.
So
you can download it to a USB stick.
So this is the way I do it. I have a disk that has all the Mac OS bootable partitions on it. So I have a High Sierra bootable partition and the High Sierra installer. I boot off the partition and run the installer on the internal drive. That's how I do it. But that you're gonna have to get the High Sierra installer, download it to something and install it on an external drive so you can boot off of that. So it's a lot of work.
I have the DVD drive, the external DVD drive. I don't know if it'll work.
DVD drive ain't gonna cut it. You got to have a hard drive, like an external little portable hard drive.
Yeah.
Or a flash drive.
Or a flash drive. Flash drive's slower.
Okay. Well, it's on the shelf for now, but that was.
Yeah, any drive, any USB drive that will work. You don't need that much space.
Well, my
But you
question
get the
is-
High Sierra installer, install it onto that external drive, and drag the installer over there so it's on there too. Then you choose that as the boot drive by holding the option key, and they'll boot on that drive, and you'll see the installer, and you say install onto the internal.
Is it worth that old computer
High Sierra still functions.
on that computer?
Yeah, it'll work fine. Yosemite was ancient. How much memory has it got? Probably 4 gigs, huh?
4
It's an
gigs.
Air?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 4 gigs. I have one of those sitting right here. It's 4 gigs. And the other thing, but it does have an SSD, but it's probably like a 128, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it'll work. If you can get High Sierra on there, it'll work. It'll work fine.
Okay. Well,
But the trick is getting the High Sierra installer, because Apple doesn't make that easy. If you Google, you can find it.
I don't like going into the terminal. I know they said go into the terminal.
No, not terminal. Just go to Google and Google Mac OS High Sierra installer.
Okay.
Apple has it. It has it somewhere. They don't make it easy for you to find it.
I have a link to that. I'll post it.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, that machine will still work fine because it has an SSD. Once you get High Sierra on it, it'll be okay. It'll work.
Okay.
It's amazing how a 10-year-old Mac with an SSD drive, how well it actually works.
Well, I just have
So that-
one 32-bit program that I want to keep so that on my main computer, if I upgrade to 64-bit, I won't lose a few $100s worth of software that
Yeah,
32-bit.
that's a perfect use for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have much monetary value, but it'll work.
Yeah.
It'll surf the web just fine.
Good. Okay.
I mean, I have one that's got Photoshop installed on it, and it works fine because it has it has a built-in SSD. The SSD is upgradable. Otherworld Computing, MacSales.com does sell SSDs for it, so you can, if you need more space, put an SSD in. It's pretty easy,
Okay.
but not the memory.
You're right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
All righty.
Whatever happened to the old RAM disk? Remember we used to have RAM disks on our old computers, the old Mac Plus and that Mac ST.
Yeah.
There you'd use part of your hard drive as memory.
I just posted the link for High Sierra, some other systems to the tech.
In the chat.
No, it's in the tech forum.
Okay. Thank you.
Rick, the RAM disk got incorporated into OS 10.
The RAM disk used part of your memory as a disk. So you could load the stuff on your disk into memory and make it faster. But as soon as you shut the computer down, it was erased.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a trick to make your disk faster. But it was very small because you didn't have much memory back then either.
There was another product called Disk Doubler. Remember that one too?
Or RAM Doubler.
And then there was Disk Doubler also.
Yeah, that was
from Cassidy and Green. But they were great.
All
people.
hocus pocus.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. It worked. So, anyway, so we can open up Q&A again. If there is any.
So I got a question for everybody. Has anybody put your hand up who was thinking about getting one of those new machines? Anybody?
I am.
You are?
Same here.
Well, because
And-
my MacBook Air is a 2014, and
Okay.
that's kind of old. And my granddaughter has a MacBook that's a MacBook Pro that was only 4 years old, and it just went kaput on her. So, but I don't know whether to get the MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air.
They're essentially the same machine. The Pro has a touch bar. That's all I can see that's different.
Well, no, I think the Pro will manage memory better and
Slightly. It's
I mean,
slightly
it has a
different. It's
fan,
not that
so
much
you're gonna
different.
be able to use. It has a fan that's big.
To me, for the money you spend, I think I would get the Air and spend my extra money on more RAM and a bigger SSD.
Okay.
I think you get more bang for your
More,
buck that
I'm
way.
going to write that down. More RAM and an SSD.
Yeah, go
And
to
a
16 and
bigger SSD.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, bigger.
And the
I
screen,
agree completely, Alice.
Okay, more RAM and a bigger SSD, whatever all
Yeah.
that means.
well,
Just
to get
go
a
with-
15-inch screen, don't you need the Pro?
Well,
the
I
MacBook
have a monitor, which I'm very happy with. So
Oh,
I would just put the MacBook Air on this monitor.
The screens on the screen size on the Air and the Pro are the same. They're 13.
Yeah,
Same
but I was
screen.
thinking maybe the 16-inch Pro.
Oh, well, the 16
You're-
is not new. 16 is way more money, and that's still Intel. That's not a new machine.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll
That's
just,
not coming till next year, probably.
Anybody having an app store problem with we could not complete your purchase? I've been getting that open a case with Apple. There's a workaround. Go into your account, enter your password, and it'll work till you reboot.
Huh.
I had a
It
client
started about a week ago.
right on and ordered the 13-inch MacBook Pro, but that was like just 10 minutes after the.
And this is
Oh,
something new, started about a week ago.
Haven't heard that one. Alice, I do have one suggestion for you if you're still
Yes.
here.
Yes, I am.
What do you use to connect to your monitor? What are you connecting from?
I don't know.
I mean, what machine are you connecting from?
Oh, I've got an LG. Is that what you mean?
No, what Mac are you connecting from?
The the MacBook Air. Is that what you
Okay,
mean?
so you have an adapter that goes from the MacBook Air to the cable to the LG, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And that is a USB-C adapter or a USB-A?
I don't know.
It's probably a Thunderbolt adapter.
Yeah, I think it's a Thunderbolt adapter.
Right, so you have to get a new adapter because
Yeah,
all the new
Get a
machines,
new
the three new
adapter, I'll write that
machines
down
are,
too.
they're
New adapter.
USB-C, so you have to get a new adapter.
Okay.
There's
I'll write that
there's
down
two
too.
ways you can go with that. You can go to Monoprice and get a USB-C to HDMI, which is just a simple little stubby cable with an adapter on it, or you could get yourself a whole array of adapters that like that Sateki. I think you've seen it when I was holding the classes. That gives you multiple USB ports, another USB-C port, Ethernet, and HDMI.
Yeah,
as
that would
well as
make
a
more
card reader.
sense.
But that's about $80.
Now, where do
I
I get
got-
that? What say that again? What is it?
It'd
Say-
be in a USB-C.
Yeah.
In fact, you write this down. USB-C to USB, HDMI, Ethernet, and card reader.
I got one on Amazon recently for like $30 and it had HDMI, VGA, gigabit Ethernet, and multiple USB-C ports. And it was
Oh.
like $30.
And no USB-A ports?
I'd have to dig out of my bag. I haven't used it yet. I don't have a
Rick,
USB-C
did you
port.
get yours? Rick, did you get yours on Amazon?
I did. And it's a Sateki, Satechi.
Say
And
that
boy,
again.
there is
Say that again. See what?
Satechi.
Okay.
there are a ton of choices on
Yeah,
Amazon.
there's a
for these
million of
things. It's tons of them.
Now, see, this is the sort of thing that's way out of my realm.
When you go to Amazon, make sure you check the reviews. See, I like to see how many they sold, if it's real popular, and
Okay.
and how many and how the reviews are. So if they sold a lot of them, and then the review, a lot of good reviews, like 4.5 stars, and they sold several thousand of them,
Okay.
that's kind of a good sign.
I also like to look at the 1-star reviews and the 3-star reviews. Some of the 1-stars are pretty stupid, but
But you can also go into the reviews and search, and you can search for Apple or Mac and see what the Apple Mac people say about using this on their device.
Oh, okay.
When you look at the 1-stars, see if there's a pattern that a lot of people are complaining about the same thing.
yeah. But it kills me that someone will say, this left-handed can opener didn't open the gas tank on my car. So it's a piece of junk. Just completely irrelevant stuff, you know. Somebody
This USB won't fit my USB-A or USB-C.
Yeah, somebody bought an appliance I looked up one time and they wrote from England 1-star. This is no good because all it did was burn out when I plugged it into the English electricity. Well, England, it's 240 volts. You know, just
That's so funny.
yeah. So anyway,
You're also pretty safe. Also getting stuff from Monoprice is good, and
Yeah,
Max Sales, Other World Computing is always pretty good.
How do you say that again? Monoprice?
Monoprice.com and maxsales.com is Other World Computing. They're pretty good people too.
Yeah. Monoprice has every little gadget you can ever think of.
I'm using a $10 HDMI cable from Monoprice that beats the $75 cable that I was using before.
I have one
Oh,
from
yeah.
Monoprice that I used before I got my big one. Yeah, it's nifty.
Well,
Works like
yeah.
a champ.
John, what was the other one? You said Monoprice and then you said a second one,
MacSales.com.
Mac Sales.
That's the name of the company is Otherworld Computing, and other known as OWC, but their website is MacSales.com.
Okay, good. I got it.
Yeah, they're very reliable.
And if you just want the video cable, then that's obviously a lot cheaper. But to me, you're only going to have 2 USB-C ports on there, and one of them's going to have to carry the power. I think the one that I got and Rick got, you can plug the power into it and the power passes through so it doesn't hog the port. And then you can plug in your other stuff and you still have one free.
Right.
Okay.
So eventually you're going to need another dongle for something like to hook up your old printer, USB printer. Okay, well, that won't plug in directly. So you're going to have an adapter for that. And whatever else you think, might
Or
just
if
pay
you don't like the trackpad, you want to use a wired mouse, then you can.
Yeah, I don't ever use a trackpad. I use a what do you call it?
A Bluetooth mouse.
A Bluetooth keypad. Because I'm an administrative assistant for 50 years, and so I can't do these small keyboards. I like to have like a typewriter thing.
Okay.
Sounds like I'm going to have to use a lot of terms I don't know, but I put these in my notes. I'm doing it on my.
Well, you're going to have to plug in something for your backup drive. Hopefully you have one of those.
Oh, yeah. I've been,
So that's probably a USB 3 old-fashioned legacy plug. So you'll need to have something to hook that in. So there's a second adapter you absolutely have to have.
So Alice, do you really need a MacBook Air? Why not just get the Mac Mini if you're plugging it into an external screen and an external keyboard?
I don't want anything that small. I don't want it.
Why?
I don't know. It's too small.
Do you move it? Does this thing mostly just sit on your desk or do you move it around?
No, I don't move it at all.
Oh, then get a Mini.
Get a
Mini's
Mini.
way cheap.
$300
Get the
Mini.
Yeah, get a Mini.
If you're not moving it, you don't need this. You already have an external screen. You already have a mouse.
Yeah.
If you don't have a keyboard, those are cheap. Then if you never move it, get the Mini.
Absolutely.
Absolutely get the Mini.
And you already have your keyboard and your external mouse.
Yeah.
The Mini already has an HDMI port and legacy USB-A ports. USB
Chris is holding up a Mini.
You don't need any adapters. Look at the back of it.
Just have that.
It has all the stuff on it.
Oh, sorry, I got the thing on it.
I'm not seeing you on screen, Chris.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm waving.
Is that a brand new one, Chris?
No, it's an old one. It's I can't remember, 2014, 2012, something like that. I just haven't used it, but I got it.
That has everything you need built in. And the memory you can upgrade. You can pop the bottom off it and upgrade the memory with standard chips for cheap.
Well, hang on. She's talking about getting a new Mini.
The new one will be different. The new one will not be upgradable. Excuse me.
These are the ports.
But you will have all the ports. There you go. Got HDMI. It's got USB-A, USB 3 speed ports.
Can you see it, Alice?
No, I don't know why. Let me see if I can get it to speak. It went off speaker view for some reason. But I can, yeah.
Can you see me now?
No, I'm trying to change the speaker view.
We can't see you. Your video's off.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So in the top right corner, you should see a gallery view. You click on gallery view and it'll become speaker view.
Okay, got it. I got it. I see. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm waving. Hello.
Hello, I see.
Yellow box around me. Right. So that's the back of the Mini, and this is what it looks like. It's like you compare it size of my head.
Oh.
If you think I got a big head, you probably think it's a big computer.
Yeah, if you're already using an extral monitor,
yeah, you don't.
It makes no sense to have a laptop to do that. You're wasting the screen.
Come on, and you'll save money. These start at it's what? It's
$699.
$699, $300 less than the equivalent MacBook Air. So it's saving $300.
And you don't need the adapters. You'll have all the ports you need right out of the box.
Yes, takes up less room.
Takes up less space, and it's so cute.
I never even thought of getting a MacBook Mini.
Yeah, you don't need a Air. Just get a
Yeah.
Mini. If it never moves, Airs are meant for portability. You want to go down a coffee shop, you're on a plane, ain't that fantastic? Best computer ever. But if it never leaves your desk, you waste your money. You don't need that screen. You don't need that keyboard. Don't need that trackpad. You don't need the battery. Don't need any of that. You just get the Mini and it will never go wrong on you.
Wow.
Right.
Thank you.
And
I'm
you
glad
save
the subject
$300.
came up. Wow.
Yep.
I'm not-
And buy yourself something nice with the change.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of getting the new watch. I might do that too.
There you
There
go.
you go. In fact, you know what? For the price, for the money you're saving, you can get the new watch.
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Incidentally, I have to show you a band that I bought.
What is it?
Wait, no, we
Where
can't
is
see it, Rick.
Here it is. A metal band.
It's
This
it's
thing-
like the clip thing one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
This
get it
is-
from like $10 or $15 off Amazon or eBay.
It was 20 bucks, but the thing that killed me is it comes with a tool that you can use on all of these kinds of bands to take the links out, and it even comes with spares in case you bend the little pusher. It comes with 3 spares, and it's just beautiful. It matches the watch beautifully. This is a 44 millimeter iWatch 6, and it's very comfortable. I really like it. It's none of that frou-frou stuff, you know. It's really nifty.
So I have a cautionary tale. My granddaughter deleted the phone app off my dock. I could not make a phone call without going to the whole library in the back, finding the phone app and pressing that. Apparently, the only way to restore it, please tell me I'm wrong because I never want this to happen again, is to reset your home screen in settings. Well, what that does is it kills all your folders. And it made 10 screens of apps, 10 screens completely full because I've got a lot of apps. I spent, I don't know how much time deleting the apps I haven't used in like 5 years. And it just took me 2 hours to get my folders back.
What about just to
I'm down to 5 screens from 10.
And what about just to restore from backup?
No, it wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't
It
do it,
apparently does not bring the phone app back.
Really?
Which, so, well, I mean, I Googled it quickly, so I don't know. But it mentioned that in, you know, this is what you have to do. Oh my gosh. Watch your grandkids carefully when they're.
Yeah.
I gave you an old phone for her to play with, and you gave it back.
She has an old phone to play with, but she wants yours. She's barely 2, but she knows whose phone is whose.
Oh.
Based on the cover. She'll pick up the phone and bring it to you. This is your phone.
Well, my grandkids already have their own phones.
Don't give her your phone, Anne.
Oh, she's obsessed with it. It's very difficult.
Well, you know what a lot of girls are doing? They're just putting it in there under their bra.
Lock the screen when you give it to her so she can't do anything.
I have a question as long as we're talking about iOS. And this has got to do with the calendar.
Okay.
If I go out of the month and go back in, the current date doesn't go back to the current date. It goes to whatever month first, day number 1. iPhone 11.
iPhone 11? Mine goes right to the calendar date.
Huh. Okay, okay.
Have you, how about restarting your phone? Have you done that?
No, I have not. That must be the answer there.
Try that.
Okay, thank you,
That's
Rick.
amazing what a restart will do to fix things.
Thanks.
Okay, so if any of you folks have received a notice by email that your dues are due this month, it'll save the club 55 cents postage and me a lot of trouble printing and stuffing envelopes if you pay your dues now rather than having me mail you a notice. Just saying.
Hey, Rick,
Okay.
I'm gonna be proactive. Can you check on my due date, Donald?
Yes, I can.
Thank
I'll
you.
do it right now.
Tell everybody to use PayPal. It works great.
Sure, yeah, PayPal
Oh,
works.
don't use PayPal. It costs the club money.
It costs the club
Yeah.
money. They take a cut.
Yeah, we only get $38.87.
So how did you
Okay.
pay?
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Don, you're good until January 28th, 2021.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else curious? Well, I got the database up.
Dan
What am I
Flower
do?
or Sharon Flower?
Sharon
I
Flower.
think you're good. You asked me an email once and we looked it up. I think you're good. Okay.
You're good until March of 21.
Thank you.
Don't you send us reminders? Don't you send us
I
something?
do.
Yeah.
I
to-
do.
It sends you an email.
Yeah.
I send an email out and then I follow it up a few weeks later with a US mail. So I stuff a return envelope in, stuff an envelope in, attach a new little notice saying that we don't do face-to-face meetings anymore, that we're doing Zoom, and put a stamp on it and then take them down to the post office.
And if you don't pay, he comes out and breaks your knees.
Yeah, I got my friend Vinny, he comes out with a metal baseball bat.
Miss Michelle Cox is wondering if I am January, I think.
Oh, let me open it up again.
Thank you.
Opening.
This is the accounting section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving me the spinning ball while it rejects. When I shut it down, it's over at the office and it takes a minute or two to restart if I do it immediately. So we have to
What's the
wait.
best way to pay, by check?
Yeah, we get all of it that way. Okay, Cox.
Oh, boy.
Michelle Cox in Oakland, you are good till January.
Well, we have a lot of renewals in January because traditionally that's when we used to do the seminar and get new members. So a lot of the most active month is renewals is January.
I think I see Jan's hand up.
Yes, how's my renewal, please?
Yeah, we have 46 people in January going to be reviewing. Jan McDonald.
McDonald, yeah.
Yeah, let's find you here. MacDonnell, right? Huh? One L too many, I think.
One N, two L's.
One N, two L's. Okay, I gotta do that. Oh, come on, Rick. N-E-L-L. You're good till January.
Good. A question for you. Can I send in a donation besides that? I mean, you know how you have the tip jar and stuff. Can you send more?
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah. Just make sure you mark it as a donation.
Okay.
And then we'll process it as such.
It's a 501c3, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, we are. You can deduct us. I think.
No, you can.
Under
Yeah,
the-
we're.
I don't know what you can I don't know what you can deduct and can't deduct anymore since the law was changed. But I think I think 501c3 is still deductible.
As far as I know, it is.
Donations. I don't think your membership is deductible, but your donations are, right?
Yeah, yeah, donations are. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave the database open.
Collections.
Yeah.
Is it in Excel, your database, or in what?
FileMaker Pro.
Oh, okay.
For payment, if you do a bank transfer, do you get all of it?
I have no idea.
I'm sure. Yeah, I know we would get it all, but you'd have to have a routing number and an account number.
And the bank would charge you for it.
Oh, they will.
Well, I use Bank of America, and for some reason, when I set it up, you weren't a business, so I gave them an address, and then they just send you a check.
Oh, okay.
No
So bill,
cost.
that's a bill pay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that works. Yeah, we get those all the time. It creates a little havoc for me, but it's not a real problem, but I keep a little spreadsheet that I turn into the board every month, and I write down the check number when I receive checks. And they're always about 10 digits long instead of the usual 4 or 5 digits. But that's not a problem. We can take those. We can handle them. We get a lot of people who use their bill pay for their dues. And it always puts your name on there so I know who it comes from.
All righty.
Okay, so.
Well, I got tucked into organizing my iPhone apps, I burnt the heck out of my dinner. It's gone.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh,
plan.
Well, it's takeout time again, Ann.
Looking for curry.
Yeah, maybe some curry.
Or that taco place.
Yeah, actually, there's another taco place just started up with taco birria, queso birria. So maybe I'll
Really?
try that one,
How nice.
Go find a Panda Express.
Oh, please.
This is Bert. I have a question.
Yeah, hi, Bert.
Hi.
Aloha.
Aloha, Rick. My question's about the BBS. I'm running first class on a 2009 machine, Mac, version 16. I want to put first class on a new machine, and the App Store has what they call First Class Business, which has a different logo. On the other hand, I can go to the Mac App Store, to the Mac Update Store and get first class without the suffix business. And the logo looks like the original first class logo of a globe with 3 or 4 people holding hands. Which version do I want on the 2019 iMac running?
Okay, so you asked this question in chat and I've sent you 4 messages. So the answer is first class client for the Mac is not on the Mac App Store. It is only on the iOS App Store.
Oh.
So the way you get it is go to dvmug.org, the web page, and there's a BBS button, and we have it there. And the current version is 16.113, and it's available there from us.
Okay, thank you.
16.113. I don't know what version I'm running.
There is a newer version available for the Mac, but it doesn't match our server because our server is running Mac OS and they're not updating that anymore. So there is a new version. I don't know what the number is. It's fine if you get it. You'd have to get it directly from First Class on their website, but you don't need to because our server is not running that newer version. So you won't get any of the features if there are any.
I've got 16.116, John.
Yeah, that's the current version that we're running on our server.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to update.
You might see a newer version than that, and it's okay if you get it. It's not going to hurt anything, but 116 matches our server, so that's the feature set we're
Mac,
using.
Mac Updater says that there's a
Yeah, there's a newer one.
There's a 16.200 version out there.
Right, right. It's
That's
fine
right.
if you get. It's fine if you get that. It's just we're not running that on our server. So if there's any
Yeah.
features that you don't get them because we're not using that, and we'll never use it because they're not going to update it for the Mac OS for the server.
Maybe the new one
client will
might.
continue. The client's going to continue to move on and get newer versions.
It maybe the new version might fix some of the things that are broken on the BBS. I notice once I've read a message, the little red numbers don't change.
No, that's been going on forever.
Yeah, and it used to be that if I wanted to reply with quote, I could hit Command apostrophe, and that no longer works.
Yeah, well, there's nothing we can do about it because they're not going to upgrade their server anymore. We're going to have to make a decision whether to move to a Linux server and continue to pay their support fees every month, or freeze the server and just run it as is for forever, and we won't have to pay the support fees.
What's Virtual doing? Virtual Harbor.
We don't know. It depends on Virtual Harbor and what plan they're doing. I think they're planning on freezing it and not upgrading. That's the last I talked to them. That was their plan. Neither one of them are charging dues anymore. They're on not even donations. They're in suspended animation. So we'll see. We'll see. We have till next August to make a decision, I believe. And maybe it comes a time when there's, whatever's after. I'm running Big Sur beta and first class client runs fine, no problem. So that'll be fine. Who knows what'll happen and beyond that next year when they have, whatever the next version is, could require a new version of client for the Mac or for iOS 15 or whatever, and then we may have a problem. Who knows?
Given that the next meeting that we would do locally would be November the 24th, I'm just wondering if we want to skip that week since it's Thanksgiving week and go with December the 1st.
Well, December 1st is Mike's class because he does them every other week.
Oh, so then we're going to end up with that conundrum again.
Yeah.
I would not skip. It's not like anybody's like planning a massive Thanksgiving dinner this year.
I know. It's just that it gives me some time off, but okay.
You can take time. Well, we can just do Q&A or whatever. We can dream something up.
Would work.
Find a MacMost video to play, then discuss it.
Oh yeah, we can always find plenty of videos to play. I can scare up
That's not
some.
a problem.
There's going to be plenty of stuff about Big Sur out. Now that Big Sur is out on Thursday, there's going to be just massive amounts of stuff.
Right. So we can do a Big Sur video.
Be prepared for next week's MailChimp. I'm sure there's going to be dozens of things I'm going to find that I'm going to post about Big Sur. I've been holding off. I haven't been posting nothing about it.
Don Nelson, are you going to upgrade to Big Sur Thursday?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it too. Anybody got any caveats?
I'm going to wipe this beta machine and start over.
I'm going to try it on an external.
John, I have a question about going from High Sierra straight on. This is on a 2018 iMac, but going straight from High Sierra, once I get rid of this 32-bit program that I really need to keep, up to Big Sur. Can you go directly? I mean, is that a?
Yep. Go to Google and search for Go64, Go64. There's a program you can get for free and run and find all of your 32-bit apps that are on the machine, including all the extensions and everything. You see what is actually in there, you'll be shocked.
There's still a lot of Adobe stuff that's not.
Oh yeah. I mean, it won't hurt. You can do it. The 32-bit apps just won't work. It's not going to hurt to have them, but I like to clean it out in advance.
Right.
You know, you could set up a virtual machine and use your 32-bit apps on the virtual machine within your Mac.
Yeah, Chris does that.
I hadn't thought of that.
What do
Yeah,
you use,
It's a pain.
Chris?
You gotta get
I use VMware Fusion.
Yeah, okay.
I use VMware Fusion. I run El Capitan in my virtual machine because there's some software that didn't work after El Capitan. It stopped working in Sierra and High Sierra. So I've got an El Capitan that I go into to run my It's not just 32-bit. I'm still running High Sierra, but it's old software that won't run in High Sierra. So I've got an El Capitan version.
Which reminds me, are you going to go for the $79 upgrade for VMware?
No, I'm not upgrading VMware. I'm stuck at a version several years old. I don't want to upgrade VMware because I'm stuck at High Sierra. So it was like the same version of VMware that came out in the High Sierra era. So I'm not upgrading.
But will VMware run on the new operating system?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He's not going there.
I'm not going there.
Oh,
High Sierra works
okay.
just fine. I'm not upgrading. I'm still
Okay.
High Sierra. I'm 2 generations, 3 come Thursday behind.
Well, I'll be darned. I
have a
had you
question
pegged
for-
completely
No, I
wrong.
don't. I'm not.
Rick.
I'm not.
A question about FileMaker on High Sierra. If you're using FileMaker Pro 18 Advanced, will it work on on Big Sur?
Yes.
Yeah.
It will.
I'm only using FileMaker Pro 16.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It works
yeah.
fine. I've tried it on. I have it on the beta machine, Big Sur Beta. It works fine.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, the
I
64.
have a question.
Sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a device on order called a Stream Deck. Does anybody have experience with that?
What do you use it for?
Well, I use it. I'm anticipating using it on Zoom sessions in order to make complicated changes on the fly. It's like a 10 key, and you can program each key to do keystrokes and to run programs. And so I'm hoping to use this to quickly transition things during Zoom sessions. It was brought up in our Tech for Seniors session. One of the gentlemen who does a lot of presentations uses it. A second kind of related question: is there any way on an iPhone to create a keystroke on the Macintosh? So for example, if I wanted to, I forget what the keystroke is, to mute myself. If I wanted to mute myself and not have to use the keyboard on my Macintosh, is there some application on iOS where I could hit a key or have a selection of keys to hit and cause some action to happen on my Macintosh?
A remote.
That's an interesting concept. You want to use your iPhone as a virtual keyboard for your Mac is what you want to do.
Well, for select keys, because in these Zoom sessions, you really get yourself pretty tied down and you don't have a lot of room to move things around on the screen. And if you can do things by a keystroke, kind of like having a 10 key on the side of your keypad.
Shortcuts.
Right. Well, how about getting a 10 keypad, just a 10 keypad for your Mac,
and then use the Automator.
Well, in the system preferences and keyboard, you could assign keys on the 10 keyboard to anything you want. That would work.
But he wants to do it from the phone.
I know that.
Well, the only reason I want to do it from the phone is that my keyboard is tied to the computer and I'm doing things on the computer with Zoom. And so I'm presuming that the keyboard would not, well, it's also more convenient to just press a key. You know, it's kind of like a switchboard where you just press a key rather than using the mouse or
Well, you could, in system preferences under keyboard, you could assign any key combination you want to do some function.
Yeah.
So you could press Command Shift R and it would do some magical thing that you assigned to it.
Or even reprogram your F keys.
Right. F1, you know, do this, open this, clip this, copy this. And you can use, you could do all kinds of things in the keyboard preferences.
Okay, I'll take a look at that. Thank you.
It used to be in the old days, there was programs that you would buy to do that, but that's built into the keyboard system preferences now.
Give it a shot. Thank you.
Okay.
Rick, you had mentioned making a virtual Mac.
A virtual machine.
Yeah, how do you do that? Where do you?
You buy some software, either Parallels or VMware, and run that. I can run Windows on my Mac. In fact, I do. I've got Windows 10 and I've got Linux both using those programs. I think that VMware costs about 79 bucks. But if you've got two Macs, you can put it on. There's another program called Parallels. Parallels is about the same price, I think, but they only let you put it on one Mac. So the obvious answer is VMware.
But you have to change the configuration of your Mac.
Nope. You
No,
install
it's a program.
the
It's
software.
a program you run into which you install another operating system. So you launch that program, and inside of that window is running another computer with another operating system.
Yep.
It's a whole nother computer in a window. Or you can make it full screen or run it on a second monitor or whatever you want.
Got a question, just got a
You want
phone
to see what it looks like?
Sure.
Go ahead, Kenny. You had a question? I'll show
Yes,
them
I
that.
just called for a 5th generation iPad. What's the best pen other than an Apple Pen?
The best pen?
Pen, P-E-N.
Oh.
I don't know there are any real pens.
Oh
You
yeah,
mean they have all
there's the one that has the best ratings is the Logitech.
Oh.
The Logitech, I think they call it the Crayon, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
And there's if you go to imore.com, he did a very comprehensive review. This is a couple of years old though. He did a comprehensive review of if you want to call them pens or styluses for the iPads.
Okay, good. I'll pass that on to him. Thanks.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and go to desktop 1. And I'm going to show you here on my little pop-up here. I go to Windows and here is, are you watching, Howard?
Yes, I am.
You can see VMware Fusion app. So I click that and you can see I got Windows 10 and Ubuntu 64. So I double click Windows and it should open slowly.
Patch Tuesday today, Rick. There was a big update for Windows 10.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
They had a
patch Tuesday, baby.
Patch Tuesday. Yeah, they went to
Oh
version
God, I hope this
2020
doesn't...
H2 or something, but it's skip this version. Skip.
Okay, so God, I hope this isn't going to update. It takes hours for Windows. I'll have to leave that running.
So it's VMware's Fusion that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
VMware Fusion. Yeah.
Check how much memory you got, Howard, because if you're only running like 4 gig or something, you're going to be in trouble because they ain't going to work. You're going to need lots of memory.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I've got on this machine, I've got 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, I think this is going to do an update.
No, it shouldn't be that slow. Mine starts up pretty quick.
He didn't sleep it. He probably shut it down. Did it boot from scratch?
Yeah, I shut it. I shut it down.
No, I shut it down as well. And my 9-year-old iMac can boot it in, I don't know, 20 seconds or something.
Yeah, it used to be much faster. Now it's
something's gone wrong then.
Seems so.
That's not right. But then I am
It's
running
not
an old
even
version
spinning.
of VMware.
It's not even spinning.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
showing
even
the
trying.
spinning. Oh, here it goes.
No,
Yeah,
it's in kicking
Oh,
off.
it's spinning. Let it go. It's doing it.
Yeah.
Man, that's painful. Mine is like way faster.
It's like
now.
it's running on a spinning hard drive instead of an SSD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is on a spinning hard drive.
It is?
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No.
This machine has a
Oh.
spinning hard drive in it.
What?
It has one of those.
What?
Oh, what? What are you doing?
It has
What
a
is
fusion
this
drive in it.
machine?
Oh, what? It's a 5K iMac. Why would you have a 5K iMac with a spinning drive? You must have a fusion drive in it or something.
I do.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
That's why. What is this one of the glued together ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 5K
Yeah.
drive.
Oh
5K.
man, you need to put an SSD in this dude.
Ditch
I
that.
know.
Hard drives. This.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to have it though. If they come out with a new
be next
iMac.
year. Wow. This is wow. No.
It's
No.
pitiful, isn't it?
That
So
is
anyway,
the worst.
there's Windows.
Okay.
I don't do anything on Windows especially, but there it is.
$40, Jan.
How exciting.
So if I want to go to say Microsoft Edge.
How much?
$40.
40. Thank
Yeah,
you.
40.
Thank you.
That's
For what?
Fusion.
She said a comment of something about how much are the dues.
Oh, yeah.
40.
Yeah, I forgot. How much is the yearly dues? Yeah, $40.
40. So yeah, it's very slow. You guys are making
don't
me
do
think.
this on a hard drive.
Don't do it on a
SSD.
spinning hard drive.
No spinning
Yeah.
hard drive. Got to be on SSD.
Yeah.
Life's
It
too
would-
short to wait for a hard drive to do
It would
anything.
actually work better if you just put this C drive for the Windows on an external SSD.
Yeah,
It would
especially
boot-
with
it would-
yours.
It would boot way
Rick's got
faster.
a USB 3, so he's got a fast.
Right. That would work okay.
Yeah. So anyway, there's Windows.
Yeah, in terms of the memory I have available, I don't have a whole lot.
How much have you got?
I've got 8 gig, and then I've got 250 gigabytes.
But
I've
how
only
much
got
free space do you have on your hard drive?
Only 15.
Oh, you
No,
You can't.
No, you can't do it. You can't.
You
do
can't
it.
do that. You shouldn't even have. You shouldn't even be using your computer. That's 215 is not enough for the computer to function.
No, you should have at least 10%.
Yeah.
So I got to dump a bunch of. Well, actually, a lot of photography on there that is already up in Google Photo. I should just delete it from the computer.
Yeah, go ahead and delete it. Let Google trust all your photos. What happens if they delete them? Then you won't have anything.
Well, I've done backups, external backups.
All right, you got to have multiple copies of your stuff.
Man, no wonder yours takes hours to update, Rick.
Yeah, it does. Takes a long
forget-
time.
No, you got to move that to an SSD. That's just not. Oh, that's not usable.
No, it's very slow.
No, you can't.
I don't use it for anything anyway, but
No, I know. I do. I use mine for. I use 7 for scan. I got little jobs I do on it.
yeah, so anyway, that's an idea. I probably, if I ever get any spare time, I'll
Just as an FYI, I don't know if you can see my screen.
yeah.
There you go. Samsung 860 Evo. These were on sale last week. There was like a thing. 512 gigabyte SSD. Samsung, the good one, the one that works and is reliable. 512 gigabyte SSD for, it was like $54 plus tax on
Whoa,
Amazon.
that's a good
Oh
deal.
my God.
$54 for 512 gigabytes. I'm like, what? I bought two.
Where,
I
on
couldn't believe
Amazon?
it. Yeah. That was the last year. It's like a one-day sale that Ars
Yeah.
Technica shared. And I went online, I just ordered 2 straight. I didn't even think about it, I just ordered 2. I don't need them, but it's nice having them because I could stick them in any of the iMacs or laptops I have and stuff.
Yeah, even if you put one of those in a USB 3 case and hook it up to a USB 3 machine, it makes a huge difference.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
You don't
I'll
even
give
have
it
to
a
put it
try.
internal. Then when the machine dies or you sell it, you just unplug it and plug it into something else.
Yeah.
What's the latest word on trim with the non-Apple drives? There seems to be.
It works fine. I've got it enabled. It works fine. Yeah. I've had no issues. It's stable. I've been using trim enabled for years.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, you don't have to cut that thing open. You can just run it on external.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'll check that out. I'm gonna have to ring off. And,
Okay, we've had enough. It's 5 o'clock. We've been going for over 2 hours, so that's more than we
Thanks,
normally
Rick.
do. So let's go ahead and tell everybody bye-bye, night-night, as I tell my
Bye.
kitty cat, night-night.
See you all next week.
Yeah.
And we'll